Do you want a firearm?
I did. I actually bought one last week, Monday. And that was a big argument between me and Amelia.
Okay. Can you tell me about it?
I actually bought it last week, I think Monday it was. Then that whole thing happened with the Koi PD Tuesday, and she started bitching at me. She's like, why the fuck you're not a hero, this, that, and the third. And I was like, for me, I've always had a gun. I've had a Smith & Wesson. Always had a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this whole situation, of course, Orange County had the gun. So I was like, we had a thunderstorm. I think it was like Sunday. And I was like, we saw a car pull up in the yard, or I did. And I was like, I don't know who it is. I put the light on, the car drove away. So I'm like, okay, fine. And I was like, things are getting a little crazy where we live. We need some type of protection in the house. And then she started bitching at me, and I'm like, oh my God. She was like, oh, what if that happens to you? What if you kill yourself again or injure yourself again? And I'm like, got into an argument, and I was like, fuck it. I was like, all right. And then I left the house. She was all bitching at me, this, that, and the third. I'm like, okay. I went back with my parents. And then, where did I go? Got into an argument. I know I ended up at Alchemy Hookah Lounge around like 11:30 that night. That was on Tuesday. I took a drive to Daytona, and I actually chucked the fucking gun over the damn bridge. I was like, fuck it. And she was like, what the hell did you do?
Okay, which bridge in Daytona did you throw the gun off of?
International, was it International Speedway or Parkway?
Did you pull over?
No, I was actually parked. I walked. I was just trying to clear my head, and I was just had like a relapse of what happened on my leg, and I was like, fuck this, and I just threw the gun.
What time was that at?
Probably like 3 o'clock in the morning. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
What'd you buy?
It was a Taurus. Another Taurus.
Where'd you get it from?
It's a pawn shop in Winter Garden. I actually was gonna buy another gun from there before. One of my buddies worked there. His name is Doug, but he was on vacation.
Is it like just past like the I think the expressway?
Yeah,
I think I know
it's Cash. I think it's called Cash Stop Pawn. And I bought my surround sound system from them before.
What did it set you back? How much did it cost you?
It was like $250.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that much to throw it off.
Did you
the
pay
bridge.
cash?
Yeah, I paid cash for it.
Did you have to do any paperwork when you buy that like that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have concealed weapons permit?
Yeah. And I do. I actually have. I think I have the paperwork at home for it.
You threw it off the overpass. Right? Am I understanding that right?
Yeah.
Bridge, overpass? Okay. So you went to Daytona. What time did you get back from Daytona?
Probably like 5:30 in the morning. I actually went back to Daytona the other night. We got into an argument.
You went back the other night?
Yeah.
Where do you go in Daytona? Why do you keep going to Daytona?
I back in the day when I used to have arguments with my parents and stuff, I just go for a drive, long drive. Sometimes, I mean, shit, hell, I know I remember when I was younger, I used to drive from 50 from east all the way west. And just, for me, I didn't want to be home because I was like, I don't want to argue with her and have another argument. Julian's there, her parents are there. I'm like, just wanted to save an argument. And what was it? I think it was Tuesday? What's the day? Thursday?
Today's Thursday.
Tuesday I went back to Daytona. I went by the by they have like an arcade pier where Joe's Crab Shack is.
Här har vi virke för att bygga terrasser som är jättelika. Och mursten för en gigantisk vägg. Och där borta en friggebod i flera våningar. Ni ser förvånade ut. Ja, ni måste ju bygga det själva förstås.
Hankook Tire.
Area, just for a walk. Then I didn't start reporting. I came back home.
Were you alone when you went to Daytona?
Yeah, one of my coworkers is actually gonna come with me. His name is Ricky.
Which time? The first or the second time?
The second time. Damn, I wish I had a jacket.
So, I just, so maybe I understand. So you have the fight with Amelia
Yeah,
about the gun.
yeah, on Tuesday.
Okay.
Cause I was with Orange County for like, I don't know, 2 hours, 3 hours, and then the news reporters got my number, and I'm like, oh my god. I told her about that, and she was like, oh, what if they try to find you? What if these people? Because I had somebody come up to me that day too and be like, oh, you got so and so arrested. I said, no, I didn't. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. I didn't get anybody arrested. And they were like, how? Oh, you need to watch out. I'm like, okay. I actually told the same cop, Travis, yesterday. I was like, you know, somebody said something to me. He was like, people are gonna talk, and I was like, I know how it is.
So, when you have the fight, were you supposed to go to work that night?
Yeah, I actually called out of work while I was there with Orange County.
Okay. So walk me through that. So you get to the fight. You said you went. Where's the first place that you went after that?
After, well, I was home.
Mm-hmm.
I left. I was by my. I know I went to my cousin's shop. I can't remember if that was before or after we fought. And then I went back to my parents' house. And I was like, all right. I came back home. And I was like,
What time did you come back home?
I don't remember.
So you went back to your house.
Mm-hmm.
So-
But she was at work. She was
Okay.
at work, so I was like, that's fine.
Okay. Then where?
I think that was around like 4 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I left the house again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just driving around. I was trying to figure out what to do. My buddy was in New York, so I was like, I can't call him. And then I ended up, where did I go? I can't remember what I did. And I was just I drove around for a while,
Mhm.
and then around like 11:30, I ended up going to Alchemy Hookah Lounge.
Where's that at?
That is on Kirkman. I don't know if you know where Colombian Burger is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right there.
Who'd
And
you
that's
see
how
it?
Amelia knew I was there, because a buddy of mine had a Snapchat video. And then the last car was my car.
Okay. Who did you see there that you knew?
His name was Brandon. I don't remember his last name.
Got a phone number for him or anything?
Yeah, his phone number's actually in my
In
phone.
your phone?
Yeah.
Under Brandon?
hmm
Okay. So how long would you say you were at the hookah lounge for?
Maybe an hour, if that.
Did you drink anything?
No, didn't drink anything. Didn't I just drank water. That was it. And then from
After
there,
you went there, where did you go?
I jumped on I-4 and went to Daytona.
Did you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Was it on?
Nah,
Why not?
because my wife was gonna call me. She always likes to check if I'm on my iPhone.
Okay. So you jumped on
Because
I-4.
I know I called her cousins around like, I think it was like 11 something, to see if they had spoken to her. Because I called her and answered, so I was like, okay. And then I was like, I called them, I was like, yeah, you know, where Amelia is. And she's like, nah, And I was like, okay. 'Cause I didn't want to. They knew we were fighting because I think she went out with them afterwards.
Because you called your cousin. You called her cousins looking for Amelia.
Yeah, because I didn't hear. I called her phone actually, and she didn't answer. And I know we were all supposed to go out to, I think, go play golf or something like that.
When?
That same night. That same night. And then I know Amelia went out with them.
So you didn't want to talk to her, but you called her.
Yeah, I called her just to see what she was doing because I was like, we're still fighting. I was like, I just wanted, honestly, I wanted to go back home. But she didn't answer, and then called my cousins, and then I was like, all right, maybe she's out doing something. And I was like, all right, I'll go to Alchemy. And it was right before I went to Alchemy is when I called her.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did
then
you
I
talk to
told
her?
No, I didn't get to talk to her. She
So
didn't
you wanted to go back home?
Yeah.
Okay. Why didn't you?
Because I didn't want to argue again. Things have been up and down with us lately.
I guess that's where I get a little lost. So if you didn't want to argue, why'd you call her?
I just, usually when we argue, I'll call her, see how she's doing, or see if everything's okay.
So you didn't want to argue, but you called her.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanted to go home. And
But like, I mean, shit.
so then you turned
3
your,
weeks ago,
you turned your phone off after that.
yeah, my phone was actually off for the majority of the day.
So up until, all right, so again, I just want to make sure I understand, because
Mhm.
I'm going to be on the same page with you. Okay, so you get into this argument, you leave, you're pissed off enough that you don't go home.
Yeah.
But you don't go to Daytona right away. You're in town for a little bit. You drive around. For a little bit, you can't remember where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, I just drove around.
Okay. And your phone was off then?
Yeah.
The whole time?
The whole time.
So what time do you say you left the house?
Around like, I think it was like 3. Between 3:30, 4, something like that. Around there.
And there'll be no activity on your phone whatsoever. No text messages, no nothing.
No, nothing.
All right. At some point in time, you have to turn it back on so you can call her.
Yeah.
Was
That
there
was around 11.
Was there any voicemails or text messages from her when you turned your phone back on?
I texted her, I was like, yo. And I think I texted her hello.
Hello, like with the question mark, like you're trying to talk to her?
Yeah. Because I know I called her and she didn't pick up, and I texted her yo. I texted her hello. And that's when I got all the text messages in from her cousin. So
What were they
let's
saying?
go out somewhere, go hang out. And I'm like, I don't want to. I wanted to resolve an issue with her, but then when we go out, her cousins always are like, "Oh, what'd you do to Josh?" Or what
Did you respond to them?
No, well, that's when I called them. I was like, "Hey, did you go out with, or did you get a hold of Amelia?" And they said, "No, not yet." From what I understood, yeah.
Hmm. Then you went to Daytona, and you took this gun, and you threw it off the overpass?
Yeah.
Was it all in one piece?
All in one piece.
What caliber is that gun?
I think it was a 9mm.
What kind of ammunition did you put in it?
I didn't have any ammunition inside of it.
You didn't have any ammunition inside of it?
No.
Did you buy ammunition for it when you bought it?
No.
Okay. Well, I just get a little confused. So, explain to me your reasoning again as to why you threw this gun off this pier.
I had a real,
Or
I guess
overpass.
a relapse of what happened to me, and I was like, some shit happens again by accident. Fuck my life up again.
But it's not loaded.
Yeah, it wasn't loaded.
Okay.
It went into water?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was on a bridge over water, it wasn't just
Yeah,
some off.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's the bridge right before you get to the Daytona Beach.
Yeah, you get off like, what is it, 75 on International, or 80, what is it?
95,
95. By the Speedway there,
Mhm.
and just keep going, and
Yeah,
okay, I
exactly.
know what you're talking about.
I guess that's where I get a little concerned. Well, my thing is, you guys are kind of hurting for money, sounds like. I mean, you're working now, but you're
Yeah, I'm
hurting for
working now,
money.
so things
So
are
you spent
just-
$250 in cash on this gun.
Yeah.
It's a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
Pawn shops are pretty good. I mean, usually you can go back and pawn it
Yeah,
back,
but
right?
I was like, at that very moment, I was like, anything could fucking happen, and I'm like,
But it's not loaded.
it wasn't loaded. Yeah.
So right now you got basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
So it's not dangerous to you at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. But for me, mentality-wise, I wasn't thinking like that. I just threw it, and then I